Oh, y'all. Welcome to the Floating Light Live. Welcome, everybody. My name is Jonathon, Roug, and this is the Floating Light Live, where we disseminate, articulate, and postulate the post-float glow. And today, I'm wearing my super ancient Ray-Bans. I actually found these at a thrift store, and I think they're awesome. I just love them. But today we have a very important and special announcement, special episode, because honestly, like, we're almost about to hit 8,000 fans and 10,000 likes on Facebook, which is incredible. And I'm personally super excited to be able to get there. And you helped us with that journey. I could hear myself talking, and that is quite strange. Anyway, today we also wanted to introduce for the first time ever our very own Namnad, who's been following the Floating Night Live for, well, a little over a year now. But now he's joined us as a guide, and I know a lot of you have met him. But today we feature Namnad Daniel on the show. We're super excited about that. As all you wonderful, beautiful people know, this is an interactive show. So share your comments down below. We see them live right here on the set of the Floating Night Live. Hit that love button, you know, the thumbs up and the heart and all that good stuff. And we'll see you in just a moment. Whoa, I'll never win American Idol.
But you're going to continue to try.
I'm going to continue to try. That's the message today, friends. Continue to try. Live your greatest dreams. Hello, Diane. Nab. That is totally meta. Diane, Sandy, Jose, Scott, Bale. What's up, everybody? Andrew! Energy Star Andrew. Hey, guys. We have a legend in the chat room today. Andrew helped start the show. Anyhow, I hope you all liked that new intro. We just made that one today. We were just trying to freshen up the show. We'll probably reboot the whole thing. We want to come up with new ideas and new concepts and make this show more focused. Make it more about what you folks want to hear. So tell us in the comments below. We don't want anyone to feel like the show is boring. And honestly, like, we want you to tell us what we need to do. What do you want us to do? If you can tell us what you want us to do, we'll actually do it. We'll do it. Because we do this anyway. We do this when we're taking guests back. We do this when we're hanging out with friends and family and all that good stuff. So right now we're at 7,960 likes on Facebook and like 9,000 some followers. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the difference between a like and a follower is. So anybody know? Tell us. But anyhow.
Well, like I said, like is if they like page, but I think they have to like and follow. Because if you follow it, then they get notified with, because then they're following you.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think that followers are the boss. They're I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like the page, follow it, whatever you want to do. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Anyhow, let's cut the couch cam, and we've already done that. Josh is on top of things. Daniel.
Hello, all.
You have joined us for the first time on the Floating Light Live.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for the day. It's been too long, man.
Yeah.
But you have accomplished the first atonement of Float Light.
Thank you.
You've taken the journey, and you've made great, great strides, my friend. And we are truly thankful to have you on the team. You are like family.
Yep.
Thank you. And you got to float.
Yes.
How was it?
This was a good one because like I finally turned everything off because like I always bring like new guests back and I asked them, "Did you take it off? I mean, turn off everything?"
Did they take it off? Like
I
I'm
hope
hoping
they
take
did.
their clothes off.
I'm like, "Did you turn everything off already?" And they said, "Yeah." I'm like,
Mhm.
"Wow, that's crazy. I still haven't done it." So I made it a point to like turn everything off. I did it. And like I thought it was yesterday. I thought it was last night when I was sleeping because I was sleeping there. And I was like, you know how you have that inner monologue in your mind when you're sleeping sometimes? But like I was just like, I gotta sleep so I could make it to the show tomorrow. It was already the day. It's crazy.
Were you worried that you weren't gonna make it to the show?
I thought I was gonna sleep in or something.
Oh, what, dude? What?
I thought it was yesterday, like an hour.
Yeah, he thought it was yesterday.
Oh, you thought the show was yesterday?
No, he thought it was today, but he was in the past tense, so he was sleeping yesterday, knowing that he had to come on to live today.
It was like a dream.
I see what you mean. I've had that happen to me
Yeah.
before, where actually, surprisingly, it happened to me this morning. I woke up very, very early, and I went and had my bowl of cereal, and I went back to sleep, and I was listening to this new podcast. Oh man, it's so good. It's called The Portal. I'll tell you guys.
Weinstein?
What's that?
Wait, Eric Weinstein?
Yeah.
Peter Thiel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
see that?
Yeah, I was listening to that one, yeah.
Oh man, I just listened to it. It's so good. It's so good. And these guys are geniuses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Peter Thiel, he's a billionaire. That's not important though.
Yeah.
He's a really down to earth guy. Like, makes sense, logical speak, and totally good ideas. But anyway, that's what I was listening to, and I fell asleep listening to it. And I woke up, and for some reason, the nearest number that I read was like 9. It was 9, and if it's 9, oh man, like I gotta get to Float Light like now.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, friends, this never happens. I will always be here. One time, I'll be honest, when we first opened, I fell asleep in the therapy room because overnight. I stayed at Float Light. Okay, you guys are like, okay, I know now what he does when he goes to sleep when we're floating. No. I stayed here at Float Light overnight because I was here very late, and I slept in because it's just a new thing. I haven't really been acclimated to the float center all that much, and then Jessie calls me in the morning. She's like, "John, what are you doing?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Well, you got a guest outside," and I'm like, "Oh man, that was bad."
I just heard this story the other day.
She told you?
Yeah, I can't remember what we were talking about.
You know what? Your humble leader has made the worst mistakes.
She's like, I didn't know where he was. I couldn't see him, and it was just, oh.
You know what? This is the thing. We learn from our mistakes, and actually, I think it's a good kind of lesson because, like, moving from you, like, you know, you've taken this journey, you've learned. How do you feel?
I feel like I'm really proud of myself that like.
And we're proud of you too, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
Seriously.
Like I really I was like I got to the point where I was answering calls while like doing the picking up the suites.
Yeah.
Like at first I was like, I don't know how I'm ever gonna do that. That's crazy. But then like you just trained us so well, so it all works out. Yeah.
I don't know how well we trained you, man. Like, we did the best we could.
Yeah.
But you know what? You got it. It's an amazing thing to acclimate and to become part and understand.
Mm-hmm.
And so And so here we are, the Floating Night Live. Very exciting to be here today. Megan, how was your float?
It was pretty good. I went in openly.
Thank you, Andrew.
I kept getting like sidetracked, and it was like really aggravating. I kept like trying to ground myself and like protect myself, and it didn't really work.
Sorry.
It probably did work in a sense, but not to the extent that I had wanted it to. And of course, like as soon as I slipped in, what do I see? Dan just floating by. I was like, all right, cool. What's up, dude?
Like you have an ability to connect with people at another level when you're floating.
Yeah, so Dan just floated by. I was like, all right, dude, I'm gonna
That's very much
fall asleep.
It's very much kind of in parallel to what you do as a practice.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, like being able to sense energy and
absolutely
connect on a deeper level.
Absolutely. I've been working a lot on protecting myself and grounding myself. I've recently learned that your intuition isn't always right.
Oh, I totally understand that.
It can be deceiving sometimes.
Most definitely.
But that's okay.
Without a doubt.
You can't be mad at yourself for it, though. That's the thing. Like, I was so mad at myself for it. And I was like, no, like, I wasn't mad about the situation. Like, I was, like, more, like, upset, like, why did I let myself be put in that position again? And I was like, wait, no, like, I get why. Like, that's the thing with my brain. Like, I understand why. Like, I know why I know why people are part of my life. I know why they leave. I know why sometimes, like, some people come back. Like, I get it. So I'm not mad. That's okay.
That's true.
I'm working on
it's like a
being.
personal growth. That's what's happening.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be. Yeah. And with anxiety, it's so hard. Like, anxiety, you're, like, continuously, like, in the future. Like, you're never here. You're just, like, 5 years from now, this is what I want. 10 years from now, this is what I want. And you're just like, whoa, hold up. Like,
wouldn't you say that's, like, one reason why floating... I mean, for me, like, it's so true. Megan is, like... She comes up with these really good, like, concepts. Like, you know, that you had the Ferris wheel. Now you have this one. Because it's, like...
Yeah.
It's true. Like, you're always in the future.
Right.
Like, when you have anxiety. And, like, the float tank kind of puts you back to the present. Like, grounds you. But it's so important because it's like you're going through the mental processes in the tank, and then all of a sudden you're just back. You know?
Absolutely. And it's kind of the mixture of me going in and being, I don't want to be, not that I didn't want to be here, like, I didn't want to be, I guess you could say, present in that moment, but, like, I was like, no, like, I need to be present within this moment. So I was trying to, like, focus with, like, on one thing, and I couldn't just focus on the one thing. So then, like, my mind just kept, like, bouncing back and forth, and, like, I was super, super tense in there. And then finally, like, I just kind of fell asleep, and, like, I just kind of finally let go. And I was like, why couldn't this happen sooner? It was just, like, one of those, like, in-betweens of...
Yeah.
Plus, like, I'm working on that new energy stuff that Ron and Tammy...
Oh, sure.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
No, they're powerful beings, let me tell you.
Yeah. Ron actually checks in on me quite a bit. He probably checks in me once or twice a week. He's like, hey, how's your energy doing? Like, how are you doing? And the other day, he's like, do you want me to send? And I was like, you know what? That'd be, like, great. Like, I'm gonna accept it, you know, accept your help. I was like, all right. So I was like, I'm gonna be home in, like, 25 minutes. He's like, all right, just send me a message. And I was like, all right. So I sent him one, and he's like, all right. He's like, I'm sending. He's like, you know, and then he asked later, he's like, did you receive it? And I was like, yeah. And then the other day.
What's up, Steve?
What's up, Steve? The other day,
Steve.
he.
Steve.
I love Steve. Steve and Lizzie come back.
Oh, yeah.
Val
is a super fan.
I know. She
top
needs to
fan,
come back
so we
too.
can see it. Andrew Thiel, I think he's top fan. He just sent me a message. He's like, look what I got. I got top fan. I'm like,
No, that
nice.
was what's his name? Eric. Eric sent me it.
Eric who?
The maintenance guy.
Oh, Eric.
Eric. He was
yeah.
so proud of himself. He Snapchatted his screen, and he's like.
So they're all wondering.
Look.
Oh yeah, Steve's no question about it. That Steve's a top fan.
Yeah.
Now what's going on, Scott? Scott's not a top fan.
Maybe he just won't accept his badge.
Come on, Scott.
Shouts out to Steve. He's the reason why I'm here.
Jeez.
He's the one that picked my name.
Oh, you know what? It's so true.
What?
Yeah, if you're listening, Dan.
Thank you, Steve.
Honestly, like this is a true story, Dan.
Yeah.
And this is the point of synchronicity that's so important. Everything is like an intertwined web,
Right.
and like the people that brought us to the forefront, that gave us the opportunity to be us, and I'm talking about you. We're there for a reason. They're doing the things that they needed, that they're doing because it's almost like a guiding light is sending them a prosperous signal. So Steve was on the Floating Light Live, and Steve was also on. He was here doing a presentation for a health presentation, and Steve picks Namnad.
Yep.
That's right. Namnad comes to float. Namnad, of course, watches the Floating Light Live. Namnad becomes super top fan. Namnad's family comes to float. Namnad gets a float light robe for his birthday. Namnad, Daniel. I'm gonna say Daniel. Namnad just sounds weird, right? Daniel finally just asks a little bit questions and just integrates himself. He's part of this community at the point where it's like he's become one with us, and so that's kind of what happened. And so that's for you, brother Steve. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
It's like the best referral ever.
Hi, Tammy.
It was intuition in Steve's mind, like Namnad needs a float. Hey, Tammy.
I think he just liked your name. It's probably one of the days that we were nitpicking at it.
So I was thinking about it, like when we're having this conversation, because getting to on a deeper level on the Floating Light Live is one of the key agendas I want to start focusing on now, moving forward. You know, we got this new title screen, new intro. We might rebrand the show. We might name it something else because I feel like it's evolved. It's not about float light or anything like that. It's something different, and we want to get to a point where this is truly something that is on another level, just deep. And one key point that I wanted to kind of bring up was like, what do you feel here at Floatlight, Dan? Because I know you have to feel it. Like, I know Megan does. We've had this conversation, but
wait, what are we feeling?
Well, you know, like how you feel, the interactions. You know, with the guests.
Yeah.
It's like hard to describe. It's almost like floating. How do you describe that? What is it? What does it give? What does it do for you? What do you feel? I know it's putting you on the spot, but like I just want to hear it.
Yeah.
Speak from the heart.
No,
brother.
like I'm curious too. Like why did you like we appreciate you like wanting to come onto the team, but like why did you?
Why are you here?
It's true. Like everybody knows my story. I think.
Like why are you here, Dan? No, I'm just kidding. No,
like
no.
it's kind of point blank.
Yeah. So, like, all my jobs, I basically only worked in like fast food restaurants and stuff. And like I always felt bad handing the family fries because I'm like, this is not good for you, but I don't know.
No, it
but
makes
like,
perfect sense.
But now,
it does make sense.
Yeah, but now I feel like because
you're doing something good.
Yeah, I'm doing something for the greater good because an examined life is what is gonna change things. It, like ripples, like everything. So like this practice is about examining yourself, examining your mind. It's because it's like when you're in the float tank, it's like an audit everywhere, and like even if you don't feel pain somewhere, you might notice it in the float tank, even with thoughts or anything. Like it's just everything's like that in the tank, you know. I don't even know if I'm making sense right now because I'm like I'm out of it from the float.
Discombobulated.
Yeah.
No, it's totally cool.
I got you.
But
if you're
I'll
out of it now,
translate
just
it.
imagine why we have some rules for the Floating Night Live. Like you had at least experience the sensory deprivation tank at least once.
Yeah.
Before you can actually come on the show, because you get out of the tank and you'll be like losing it or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So like, but basically when I work here, it's not. I don't feel like it feels like a job. It feels like a duty for the community. You know. Like,
right, and that's true. Like, I try to break the conventional, tropes about what work is.
That's what's awesome too.
Like, and I mean, obviously, when I say it's because, like, I'm in a position to be the natural leader.
Yeah.
But I don't consider myself of any capacity to be at a upper echelon type of position.
Don't break her.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, guys?
Say hello to the camera.
Have a great day.
Yeah, what's up? Come back.
Yeah, you
say
can,
hi.
You can be live. You're in
Right
front of 5,000 people.
Hey, you're in front of 5,000 people. Say hello.
You got an Instagram, YouTube.
Oh, they're coming in.
Give it a shout
Hey,
out.
follow us on Facebook.
Follow
You'll
us on
see
Facebook.
yourself.
Float Light.
FLOATLIGHT.
Follow us on
At
Facebook.
Floatlight.
Type that in on Facebook and like
Follow it.
We got to get to
What's up, y'all?
800,000.
We're getting video bombed here at the set of the Floating Night Live. This is why we do these fun things on the street. It's kind of funny. One of these days, people are gonna be outside of the windows holding up signs and stuff.
We love you.
It make me laugh. Anyhow, yeah. So you connect like on another level. It's unique. And when we're talking about like Float Light being a job, well, I try to break those tropes because like a job is something. What is it? It's almost like the word has been stigmatized. It's not even doesn't feel good to say anymore.
Yeah.
Like I think that 100 years ago, saying that you had a job felt good.
Yeah.
Because that was a survival thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's still a survival thing, but it's like a large
We
majority.
have to do it in order to live.
Yeah, a large majority of the population don't feel great pride in a lot of the things they do.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the ability to care. Like a job 100 years ago was like doing something for your own survival, like doing something to feed yourself and other things like that. And maybe you were working for somebody in a factory, but and maybe even longer than that, but like seriously, this is a community.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to feel the same passion that I feel going on the journey, even building this place and bringing it to fruition at that same capacity. And so I give you the keys, and Megan, same to you. I mean, obviously, so that you can express yourself. And that's truly kind of what the philosophy kind of entails. You know, we just want you to prosper.
Yeah.
So like there's no limitations. Express yourself creatively. Nobody will tell you that you have a bad idea. You can express yourself. I know that Megan said this multiple times. Like, I like it that John and Jessie listen. Well, it's not just John and Jessie anymore. Like, we're equals here. I really want you to know that.
And I feel exactly the same way. Like, I don't see, like, myself as, like I see us, like, as an equal. Like, I don't see myself as, like, above you or anything. Like, I need you just as much as you need me. Like, we're in this together, dude. Like, it's true. Like, we're a team. Like, if it wasn't for you, like, we wouldn't have been able to open up the massage room. Because, like, the hours that
that
were
folks, no flotage.
My massage hours were when they needed me to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't work those hours if I was massaging. So it was one of those things. So it's, like, one of those things where, like, is that equal? Because, like, I need you just as much as you need me in that sense.
So I need to interrupt just real quick, just to answer Steve's question.
Yes.
Because he's like, why are they talking to the people outside? Well, Steve, it's a very good question. All of the audio from the Floating Night Live is being piped to speakers on the awning outside of Float Lights. So when anyone walks past the sidewalk, they can hear our conversation. And we do that intentionally because it's fun. We just one day we were like, let's do that. That sounds funny, and we did.
Yeah, and he also mentioned that when you talk through the window to us, we really can't hear you.
Yeah, Steve.
Unless you show it, Megan can probably hear you.
Well,
Well, I had that one conversation with that one guy.
Yeah.
No, you can. Oh, you mean if you're standing outside, we can't really hear you? No, unfortunately not. I mean, I think we could fix that. We could probably mount like a lav mic on top of the awning out there, and then people could talk to us from the outside, maybe right directly to Josh in his little, earpiece, and then
That'd be sweet.
he'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is what they're saying.
You love making my job more complicated.
It's more fun.
Yeah, always got new things going on. But so that's why you're obviously. I think that it's probably going to be one of those things where people are like, why are they talking to these people outside? How are they going to hear you? Like, well, walk past Floating Light Live and find out, or walk
Wednesdays
past
at
Float
8.
Light, and you'll know. But yeah, so you kind of get the philosophy now, but I think on a deeper level, because I get why, you came here, and you must have felt that Float Light was inherently good, because it was you felt some benefit from it. You probably felt the connection that we bring to people and our guests that are most fundamentally at its core the most important thing to us.
But it's so much more than that. Like, it's not even about the people. Like, it's like you and Jess too. Like, and like, not to toot my own horn, or like even ourselves. Like, we all bring something not only to the team, but to the Float Center as well. And like, having that leadership, that great leadership, is
Yes, we can.
way more important and makes us do our jobs better, or give that back to the community, because it's true. Like,
Floating from a 1 to 10. What do you guys think of floating?
12.
11.
Can you
Get
talk
it?
to people in the upside down? Yes.
Have you ever seen Stranger Things? Come on, friends.
No.
Am I the only one here that has seen Stranger Things?
You're in the
way too
upside
many
down,
people
John.
ask me
Sorry,
about
I
that.
haven't seen it.
You're in the upside down, John.
I must be in the upside down. Nobody knows anything. Okay, so I guess just to kind of go back to the main point that I was trying to make. Like, when I'm talking about Dan, you told us why you're here, how you got here, but have you had that connection with guests?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
it was like the first week.
you get down and you just start talking, and it's like you build this like connection. It's almost like when people get out of the tank, they just want to share, and it's like you want to share. It's like we all have this common. We're conducting a huge social experiment here at Floatlight.
Yeah.
It's like the power of connection, and maybe the theory and the philosophy is take a phone or a communication device away from a person for an hour, which they're never ever able to do. Not even me.
Unless the power goes out.
You still have your cell phone.
Yeah, unless you can't have data or
Unless
use
EMP.
data.
You would have anxiety on how to fix it the entire time.
I only say because like everybody's just dealt with a power outage from the storm.
Deanna's hilarious. You are the only one, John.
So, am I?
Oh man.
I don't know. I don't know about all that.
But that's crazy that the philosophy that you're sharing is also have to do like it's kind of like water. Like we're all like the ocean and the drop. It's like that.
We are 90% water.
Does that make sense? I thought 70.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, could be. Oh,
It's-
high
it's
percent.
probably
No, seriously, it is a philosophy that I think that people, when they get out of the tank, they want to express what they just communicated to another person, because they've been away from that phone, but they're used to sharing. And this is kind of at its core fundamentally why people share in the first place. Like, it's almost contradictory. We tell our guests when they leave for the first time, like, if you feel like this experience was worth your time, you can help us. And this does help us. I mean, we say this genuinely because we wouldn't have the Floating Light Live if it wasn't for us being a little bit more, just kind of putting ourselves out there as far as like asking folks to help us build this community. Hello, friends. And they did. And they do this kind of thing, this sharing kind of thing, because I think that they've almost drained themselves of it, and that's good. They feel good. But why we connect immediately after the float, not just with the guide, but with other people? Because it's not just you or me or Megan or Jessie. It's actually like guests connecting with other guests. Guests connecting with other guests on so many levels. It's not just like physically. Like one person will talk to another. That's happened countless times. There are people that communicate with each other in the float journals, which is crazy.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, and I think that when somebody gets out of the float, it's like, I need to share this with somebody else. Can I have a shared experience with somebody else who has also had this experience? And I think most times folks think that they'll usually ask, is this your first time? Have you ever done this before? Is this your first time? Oh, it's your first time too. Like, those are the questions they ask each other, and then they start engaging. Mm-hmm. And like, what else do people have to talk about besides one shared unified experience? Because one person could walk into another person on the sidewalk, and what could they possibly talk about? Dun, 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 dun.
Well, and then you have those people who have like very creative minds, and they can start up a conversation about anything and everything.
Thank you, Melissa.
Those are my people.
Yeah.
That's me. Like,
yeah.
I can, like, if somebody can hold a conversation, like, I can talk about anything and everything. Like, we can talk about the moon, we can talk about the stars, we can talk about dinosaurs and rhinoceroses.
But I'm saying, if you were to walk down the sidewalk, you have a designated direction.
Right. Well,
a
like,
lot of the time, people are on their cell phones because their main source of communication is the people who they're communicating with on the other end, not the person who's walking down the sidewalk with them.
Right.
People are lacking in physical interaction, in shared unique experiences.
Yep.
And this, we could have a shared unique experience about a political view, but it's in a way it's toxic.
Yeah.
It's not because it's not that it's toxic because we accept that it's toxic. It's toxic because another entity procured that information, put it out there as the source material, and said, this is what you need to believe.
And it's like taking the power away from yourself because you're relying on someone external powers instead of what you have and
right.
your own.
This is the world
circle.
we live in. It's a world where everything is kind of coming from a source that we don't know if it's credible or not.
Yep.
They could claim to have all the credibility in the world. I don't care if it's an academic journal or not. The best, most reliable shared experience is one that we have truly subjectively internalized and then shared.
Yes.
That is a real experience. Yes. Down with the mainstream media. No, I can't. See, I had to mask my voice there like, hello, I'm friend to the mainstream media. No. What? I didn't say anything about anybody. Okay, so no names. No. Hello, sir. You seemed quite irritated. But yeah, I mean, so like, I went on a seriously long, very philosophical rant there for a second, but like the first week you were here, you like bonded with some folks.
Let's tell you the truth, it's all a blur.
So true.
It feels like last month, but it was like already March.
Just wait until like October through March.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's
hear that,
insane.
folks?
Like, you do, like, there's so many people that you meet
Floating
that
season.
come through. And it's true, like, there's so many people that you meet. Like,
well, I was running the
it's
data.
just crazy.
Our new guests ratio has always increased or just plateaued, stayed the same.
Wow.
And then it will increase. So that means like I can see the statistics, like new guest to return guest. Now return guest is always going at an increase. People are coming back to Floatlight, which is great. I mean, for our business, we need that. Thank you, friends, for your support. Thank you for, continuing to take the journey, because there are benefits. And I know that, the majority of you out there, obviously, that have floated, you all know this. But at its core, there are new folks that are coming in. And I have to say that 90% of these people that come to Floatlight, they're not from Facebook. They're not because somebody found us. They're because somebody, one of you guys, whether it be Steve, Tammy, Melissa, Scott, it doesn't even matter. It could be you, Dan, or Megan. Somebody just overheard it.
Yeah.
Or somebody talked to somebody else. They had a conversation with them. And it probably, maybe they posted it on Facebook or a number of other things. But truly, that's why they came here. Because they were at that point like, I need to do this because it's something good. And then they come. And they're never, they never say, I made him, that was a bad decision. You know what I mean? They're not like, jeez, I'm never going to go to that place again. But you hear people say that kind of stuff, right? I mean, you read about it.
Yeah.
You read about it online, and like, when you read a review, like, that place had terrible service and bad food and all these things. Like, okay, we don't serve food. I can't know the struggle that they go through. But, like, when it comes to us and who we are, our genuine nature, I don't think that can be trained. So, like, that we had to know that you had prior to joining the team.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a shame to mention, like, it took 6 months to get Dan on the team. He had to meet with us multiple times, engage with us, get a feel. And that's because we protect our guests.
Yeah.
We protect the people that support us, that care for us, and that believe in what we're doing. That's more than floating. And I know there's a lot of folks out there that are like, I really want to join the float line team, but they've never floated. There are a lot of salespeople out there that are like, I want to sell you this advertising, but they've never floated. And then I explain to these people, reciprocation is the key that unlocks the door. And for the most part, I think most of them believe me. Some don't. But we're not gonna directly work with these individuals because you have to understand what we do.
Yeah.
Word of mouth is absolutely huge. And that's one thing that you're good at, Dan. You share. Shared experiences. Share with your family. And now that you're here, I'll remind you. So I'll have to put you on the spot. First week you connected with some folks, man. They just came back in. The gentleman came in with his daughter yesterday.
Wow. And
you made an impact on him and his wife. He actually said it. He's like, Daniel's awesome. I'm just like, and remember what I said to you? I'm like, Dan, I seriously had a tear in my eye. I was very emotional because, like, I think that the passion is almost, it's not transferred, but it's shared. So, like, I don't want to give you my passion so that I can live in the Bahamas. I want to share the passion because that's never what I'm going to do. I will not stop this journey. It's all about making it better. Oh, man.
Way to go, Mom.
Hate it when that happens?
I was waiting for it to happen to her. Seriously, like, she was
does
bubbling
happen.
that
It
up.
does.
Now you gotta wait like 3 or 4 days, Mom.
It's our martyrs.
So true.
Now she has to wait like 3 or 4 days.
Now I wanna know who you're talking about now.
Who?
The guest that you said I made an impact on or something. Because we have so many, like,
Chris and Donna.
all of our guests, like, and thank you, Chris and Donna. But we have so many guests that, like, you're all awesome.
Yeah.
You're all, like,
Well, you had the one young lady, young lady the other day, floated at, I believe it was 8.
yeah.
Man, she had such the nicest words to say.
Yeah, and it really means a lot when you give us feedback on, like, Facebook, because, like,
Yeah, totally. And just so you guys know, when we say feedback, we're not talking about, it doesn't have to be positive. Like, it can be any kind of
Anything, yeah.
feedback. I mean, constructive, positive, hopefully not negative. But I mean, if it is negative, that means that we have like, it's like a red flag, like fix it now kind of thing. And see, that's the thing. We're very reactive to that because we don't want this experience to be hindered in any way. We want you to be able, we want to replicate the experience that we give for every guest. And if it wasn't replicated for you, then we didn't achieve that goal.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll make sure that we get you there because that's so important.
Good night, Val. You're
Good night,
awesome
Val.
guest.
Val.
Thank you so much
Love you.
for joining us tonight.
Hey, shout out to my bro, Cabrillo.
Cabrillo?
What's good, bro? When are you gonna come up and float?
Yeah, so let me tell you a story about Cabrillo.
What?
Well, you're going to hear it. So, when Daniel and I were doing a booth, this was before Daniel was working for Float Life. Daniel and I were live. Daniel was volunteering at the booth. He just wanted to come
Say what's up.
do the thing. Yeah, I mean, totally cool. And I was live on the GoPro at this event. And Daniel was like, we were just walking around, and Cabrillo was the one person on the chat watching. I think there was more people, but he was very vocal. And Daniel goes and sit in a chair by the folks at
FETC nurses?
no, it was Fox Valley Cryotherapy, or
Okay.
maybe when it was Cryotherapy Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I just named the two people that are competitors. I don't know which. It's Cryotherapy of Wisconsin. They were at this event, and Daniel, he sits in this chair with these squeeze legs, and these things were pumping up with air, and his legs are like getting inflated, like they were taking blood pressure. And I'm just like, "How you feeling, Dan?" He's like, "Oh." I'm just like, "Dude, I should have done that chair." Anyway, Cabrillo's on the other end, and he's like, "What's Dan doing?" And I'm just like, "Dude, I don't know. I just don't know." and I should have just had the cryotherapy folks explain what they were doing, but you know, that's why Float Like, we don't get involved in things we don't know anything about. Okay? Leave it to the experts. So for y'all out there, you can put trust in us when it comes to the float tank.
Because we're experienced.
Well, on multiple levels. I mean, we do this show in hopes that there will be folks out there that listen from one day that want to start their own journey, you know, being a guide. Not just here at Float Life, but anywhere in the world. And I think it just might be that the one means to be able to make that connection might just be the internet when it comes to worldwide connections, or even across miles and miles and miles, because not everyone can meet face to face, but it's hard to project the personality that we portray. Well, I guess that's kind of sounding ingenuine. Like, it's not a personality. It's hard to project our very serene capacity, our presence online, especially considering, you know, when I get on air, I'm just like just won't stop moving. That's why I float. But see, that's the thing. Like, have I ever done a Floating Night Live where I was on the couch?
I don't think so.
Have I? When?
Well, you and I have.
There was an episode with you and Jessie and Megan.
Yeah.
And that was the first one I ever watched.
Oh,
And the last one I ever watched
we
is...
self-produced that one.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and I was watching you struggle, and I'm like, I gotta get in there, man.
Yeah, see? Synchronicity. If it wasn't for me having to sit there and struggle,
Yeah.
Josh wouldn't have been the Floating Night Live producer.
It all works out.
And now Josh is a successful filmmaker. Hollywood.
Everyone's just leveling up.
That is not true.
Yeah, we are.
That is so true. Don't be so humble.
Well, I haven't made any films.
Josh, you're being so humble right now. All right. So anyhow, this was a very special episode because it's so important that we got a chance to highlight Dan. What do you think is the most difficult part of this experience, being here?
Working here.
Yeah, working here, being part of the team. What's been a struggle for you?
There's only so many hours in a day. And it's not like I work full time either.
So true.
But it's just...
No, that's a really good answer. Like, time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, time is our biggest anxiety. I tell folks this all the time, but we don't have any clocks here at Float Life.
Whoa.
Time is the fire in which we burn.
Daniel just realized this
Dan
for the
just
first time
learned.
today. There has been discussions when we first started. We should mount a clock. Nope, no clocks. We don't have clocks.
If you look at my room.
And the reason why is because
I can turn
time
it off.
is one of
So like
people's biggest
when I
anxieties in
flip
life.
it over, I'll turn it off. so
We're
I can't
always worried
see it.
about what we're doing,
It's crazy.
how we're going, and what we're talking, and how much time we have to do this, and how much time we have to do that, and then all of a sudden, boom, the day is done.
Yeah.
But if it's time that you're struggling with, day must go by pretty quick.
Yeah, I'll be seeing you soon, Tammy.
Does it go by pretty quick? If you're always steady.
Yeah, different hours are different for me. Like 3 to 4 is like a long time sometimes, and then like
Yup.
6 to 11.
I think that the more you learn, the more you'll realize that it's like the more knowledge you gain about and the more expertise you have,
Yeah.
time moves so quickly and you just don't have enough time. If you don't have the knowledge, it's probably because you have limited the capacity or the capability to do something else, to move on to another project. That's why, like, the simplest things that I love to do, and I did when we didn't have many guests around, was using the floor scrubber. And like, I know you guys are like, what is he talking about? But that thing is awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I love cleaning the floor because like it's so smooth like glass.
Yeah.
And that was so. Did you know that Daniel did that?
Did he?
Yeah.
And it's like it's just
That was
like
just one thing. I mean, Daniel's learned. You've learned how to do chemistry,
Yeah.
and you've learned how to do pump maintenance.
Yeah.
And all these things that are so important to making sure that floats are at the highest quality. And I think for the most part, you've taken it upon yourself to kind of, that's your task. That's what you do. Hello.
I'm the flow chemist.
Come over here. You can be live.
Say hello. Want to be on camera?
She said hi.
Okay, you don't have to. It's all good. Just reading the comments.
But yeah, you're right about the expertise.
Yeah.
And also
It only
like
goes up though too. Like I don't know. Like you just like even if I'm not working and I'm just like hanging out, like I'll always learn something. Like
Always.
that's kind of the fun of sitting like around like John because like he's always doing something and you're just
Hello,
kinda, like,
friends.
hey, what are you doing?
mm-hmm.
Like you can always like learn something, especially from him. And even with Jess, like watching her around the float center is
Yeah.
like
Well, Jessie knows how to fold the massage room.
she knows everything.
She's the best.
Yeah.
She's everything.
The robes, the towels.
Yeah, right.
I was like,
if
this
you
is,
were to,
how did
if
you
you were
figure
to
this
get,
out?
if you were to
It's
give
so
anyone
true.
titles, what did Daniel say about Megan? Megan is the chief technical officer.
Oh yeah, Megan's the CTO.
CTO.
Jessie's Jessie's the director of operations for
Yeah.
sure, because like she does definitely understands how to get that started. If I didn't have Jessie, we'd be
SOL.
we'd be in a tough spot. Well, when I say we, I mean me. I don't know what I do.
Can I say something about Jessie? Because normally, I can't get into float like a lot of days during the week, but I like to come in on Sunday mornings, and she handles that for me. And like I'm just blown away by how personalized she makes my experience. And
Yep.
she's always asking me like if it went well, and just going that extra mile to make sure it's a great experience.
That's true.
Yes.
Now no one's gonna book with John. I'm just kidding.
But like that's true though. Like even I think like all of us do that, you know, in our own ways. Definitely to an extent. Whether it's us sitting down and actually holding a conversation with somebody, or bringing up something that maybe they're going through, like, hey, how is your mom doing? Or hey, how is your dad doing? How is your dad's sister doing? How's your aunt doing? Like, it's just those little things that like you mentally take notes on, and you're like, oh hey, like you see the person, like, oh yeah, like I remember us talking about this, like how's that going? And like people are like, they gotta be taking notes. And I'm like, but we don't though. Like we don't take notes here, and like only I do, because like granted it's part of my job, but like there's so many people that like even before I started doing massage here, like I always took mental notes. Like there's so many things that like I remembered about people that I was like, oh, like hey, I need to ask him about this. There's a gentleman that came in today, and he used to float with me like once a week for like 3 months, and he had unfortunately quit the float family. But he came in it and he was like, oh my god, Megan, how you been? And like we got chit-chatting, and like I asked him like, you know, how is this going? How is that going? And he was just like, oh, it's like I can't believe you remember that, but like, oh my god.
If Jesse's listening right now in the back, because Jesse's here. Why doesn't Jessie come up to the front?
Jesse's working.
But she's still here.
She's working.
Jessie, come to the front of the float light, please. And come say hi to everybody. They want to say hi to you. Well, if she's not, I'm going to go back there and get her. Jessie.
Aw, poor Steve.
Man,
True.
I know, it's my life, man.
He's got bigger tasks to do now.
Yeah, my tasks are... You know, I wish I could... And I will train you if you want to learn. Like Megan, I'll train you, and I'll train you, Dan. Like there are things like that I do that are just like weird things, like graphics for marketing. We don't pay graphic designers. We do all of our own marketing in house. Everything from graphic design work to advertising. Everything.
Good night, Tammy. And
Good night, Tammy.
Appreciate y'all.
Yes.
Love you guys.
Much.
Good night, Tammy.
Yeah, peace.
But it was funny she says that. So right before Tammy jumped on, like we were literally just talking about Ron. It was actually really funny.
Oh,
but
yeah.
he actually, my full circle. But yesterday or on Monday, he had sent me a message, and he was stating that he was doing an energy send, and he was going to be sending energy to anybody who's going to be accepting. And I was like, sweet, like
stuff.
this is gonna be perfect. I just got doing Tai Chi, so like I had like 4 minutes to get to my car, because like I was like, okay, I'm not accepting it in here, like oh my god, no. So I like ran to my car like really, really fast, and I got in there, and like I was like, all right, like you know, it's time. And he had sent it, and he always asks for my feedback, because I'm very, I don't know, there's something about this energy, and like now my hands are already on fire. Yes, Tammy, they look forward to seeing you. I won't be here. I'll be in the Dallas for the weekend, celebrating my goddaughter's birthday.
Jessie won't be, or Megan will be on vacay.
Yeah, it's my god.
Oh, and by the way, I posted a picture of Megan and Philip, Float Fan Philip, and Megan gets commented on her hair.
Yes, this is true.
Which is okay. Oh, and I have to say, thank you, friends, for all of your support on the Chalk on the Town.
Yes.
Post just exploded, like close to 400 likes on that post alone. That's huge, man. Like Jessie should win that. Seriously, win that. I mean, you have to.
Look who's here.
Jay Popke. Oh my god.
Oh my god,
it's been so long, bro.
Hola, Jay, ¿cómo
How are
estás?
you, brother? Huh?
I was just saying hello.
You don't know Jay?
No. Maybe I do.
He was.
Jay's pretty awesome.
I love Jay. Him and
He came to float.
He's-
It's been a while though.
He's friends with Steve, and those two had floated together, and like we sat here and like chit chatted until like 12:30 at night.
Yeah.
He's the one who also, he's also the one that's like, I am so energized, guys. Like, I'm ready to go about my day. And I was just like, can I, like, go take a nap? It's great. You had to come back, Jay. And now we have our flotage suite, so you can get massages now, too. So, woo-woo.
That's true.
Flotages are the best.
Carry a conversation.
We are
Let's see how Megan and Daniel can do under pressure, having a conversation with one another.
So, this is what we're going to talk
Gotta
about.
go get Jess.
We're just going to keep on talking.
About
until,
talking about something that we're actually not going to be talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
But try to make me laugh, because I haven't heard a joke in a while. Hey, Josh, do you have any jokes?
I don't have really appropriate jokes to tell
They
for
can't
full
hear us.
life.
They can't hear us.
Wait, they can? Yeah, they can.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you are very much.
We're
live
live,
right
yo.
now.
Oh.
We're live.
I was
thought it
about to
cute.
say, if you guys are gonna like try to carry the show, that you should probably speak louder.
Oh,
Actually
no.
hold the conversation.
Let's see what the comments have to say. Yeah.
Jay, I'm okay. Kind of back to work, still having pain. Well, Jay, will you be here when you're ready? But, no, it's truly, I was saying, though, how Ron had sent us energy, and I was accepting of it in my car, and it was, like, super powerful, and I was like, thank God I'm in my car, because, like, holy man, it was awesome. It was wonderful.
Jessie,
Jessa!
say hello to the fans.
Yes.
Oh, wait, no, we need the camera bigger.
Oh, I'm good.
Like, we're good.
I'm right here. I can't see if I'm on there.
Johnny.
But-
It's
Oh,
gonna
wait.
give it some time.
Leg.
Yes.
Not usually on the
there we go.
shows.
I did do a good angle, didn't I, Josh? So now Jesse's on here, and Deanna wanted to say hi to you.
Just for a quick minute. I got floats to watch for.
See that?
Hey.
Are we frozen?
We're not frozen. Why would we be frozen, dude? No,
Hi,
no.
Danielle.
This happens on this thing sometimes. That's not important. You still see the chat.
Everybody can see her, I guess.
Oh yeah, you're.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
It's perfect.
Don't rely on this.
Oh,
thing.
the brat Sandy. Oh, rocked my world.
Yeah, and they came on Friday, and then I realized, and it's like
Hello.
I forgot to tell my mom. Okay,
Megan
Mom.
ate them all.
No,
No.
okay,
Just kidding.
Mom.
She didn't. She didn't.
Mom. So,
Oh, thank you.
Jessie was
there I
like
am.
talking about food. And I was like, oh, hey, like I got, some brats and some hamburgers, and like it needed to get eaten before it went bad, because like my mom had brought in food because it was for Art on the Town.
Okay.
And my mom was like, oh, like, John's probably gonna be there, for Art on the Town. So she, like, Dad was like, hey, who was all there? And I was like, me. Just me. And he's like, what? So I explained it when he came in. Anyways, but my mom had packed for whoever was gonna be here.
I like what your dad said. Yes, I
Yes.
should take a break every once in a while.
Right? Every now and again. So I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, oh, hey, Jess. Jess is like looking to probably cook ramen. I was like, hey, like, you want like a brat or a hamburger? And she's like, what? And I was like, here, have this. So the brats were really good, though.
Yeah, they were
So
amazing,
good.
Sandy. Thank you so much.
They're so good. And the
Your
plates
paper
are pretty.
plates are like super beautiful. I couldn't eat off of them. I'd take one home.
She took one home.
I wanted to save mine. I was thinking about washing it. What? I was
Good
seriously.
luck washing a paper plate.
I think it can happen. Okay, fine. I won't. But seriously, they were
Anyway, enough about processing
super
plates.
nice of you. Thank you.
Y'all make me hungry.
Art in the Town was awesome. Oh, and by the way, anybody out there right now, you should all go on to ADI's website. I should just link this, but I should find a way to link it where it redirects back to that. But anyway, go on to the ADI's website, or ADI, or it's Appleton, or downtown, or Appleton Downtown. So it's facebook.com/Appleton Downtown. Go to that post, the most recent post where it's one of the more recent posts where they posted like people's choice for the Chalk in the Town, and go find Jesse's art piece and click that love button. Yeah, take the extra time and go to the love
Yes,
icon.
please vote. It was so much fun as always doing the
No.
chalk.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
What?
I was gonna say to Sandy,
No.
Megan ate that all.
I did.
I really wanted it.
I ate it all.
There was a little bit left. She didn't share that. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
Steve, we'll get right back to that. I just wanted to say
Yeah, go
about
ahead.
voting for the Chalk on the Town for People's Choice. I didn't enter to win it this year just because it's a lot of pressure being out on the Ave trying to win something. Every year I learned something new. I kind of thought less was more this time and tried to do something that still encompassed floating, but something anyone could appreciate. And got back into what I started chalking for in the first place, which was for the fun of it. My kids are really the reason I started loving the medium of chalk. You can't get super attached to chalk art. You just gotta embrace it, love it while it's there, and move on. So please, if you loved it, show your support. I'd really appreciate it. For Mile of Music, I think you guys have a few ideas of cool things that you're doing.
Well, we should send a message to the Mile of Music community and committee that
We do a huge booth
non-bar
outside.
vendors
He'll probably.
and
I'll send
non-traditional styles of music should be included in the lineup because we want to support folks that play unique styles of instruments that are still trying to make a name for themselves. And we intend to have any artists that were rejected as a formally legitimate act or an act that would be suitable for the Mile of Music and offer them the opportunity to come to Floatlight and we can discuss your style. And if it fits the atmosphere, it fits the presence that we have, because there are very unique artists out there. And they're not we're not talking about like some thrash metal punk band or something. We're talking about like somebody who would consider singing bowls a style of music, which it is.
Absolutely.
And we're talking about somebody who plays a very unique style of instrument that you just don't see anywhere else.
Right.
And it might not have anything to do with vocals.
Right.
It might not have anything to do with stage presence, but what it does have is it has something to do with the art form of music. And there's an art form in being able to play and to express yourself in that medium. So we encourage you all, come to Floatlight, set up outside on the sidewalk, play your music, express yourselves. Come inside, express yourselves. Anybody. In fact, I will take it one step further to say that if you have an instrument, come to Floatlight and come play. You know, Philip, he wanted to do a drum circle.
Dude, I want to do
that
a
would
drum
be cool.
circle really
That would be
bad.
cool.
Come down to Oshkosh.
Tell us
That's
out there,
where I do
folks.
my
I know,
Tai
Cody,
Chi.
you'd join us in a drum circle. What's up, brother?
With Andy?
No worries,
I
man.
just wanted to say
Happy
thank you
you're happy.
again to some of the comments we've missed through talking about everyone coming to Floatlight to play music. But thank you again for your support. I really appreciate it. Jose, I am so down to make something once I get some time to get in the studio. As Scott said before, I need to take a break every once in a while.
Not just here.
Not just here.
Jessie.
It's terrible. I can't stop.
You're always on the go.
And Cody.
Daddy can play your cajon.
Steve, I love it. Absolutely.
Cody, I gotta also give you a big thanks for the for inviting Floatlight or helping us be invited to the AgriPure Health and Wellness event for the employees of AgriPure. It was great. I got to meet a lot of really interesting, really amazing people, and thank you. All right.
I must say, I really dig how you've changed the live setup. Not only the way that the live looks and how it's being represented to everybody who's watching, but I love that not only with my glasses, but I can read everything that's happening. I am not lost anymore, which is super fantastic.
Love it.
Yeah, see.
I don't know if it's the glasses or the new monitor.
Oh, this is the
It's
first time
wonderful.
you've been on the set, really.
in a long time.
Well, I'll tell you this much. You got to give props to Josh.
Yeah, yes. No,
Producer,
Josh, you've been
like-
an amazing addition.
Crushed it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he's going to get hired by,
Well,
like, CNN as their
You
national
gotta-
syndicate.
You gotta come guest on the show
Yeah.
more often.
Yeah, I
Get
do.
on here.
I'm always back there tearing down everything, making sure these float tanks are spotless for all of our amazing float family and friends to come check it out. Put my OCD to good use.
Well, no, she does.
No,
We
and
talked
I was
about it
saying,
earlier.
Yeah.
I was saying earlier, like how much I enjoy like when I come in on a Sunday,
Mhm.
and the way that you make my experience so personally tailored, and I can feel the love, like I can feel the deep care for making sure that my experience is exactly how I want it,
That's
and that it's perfect,
Thank
and I
you.
love that.
Oh, shucks.
I know. I'm gonna.
Josh is just
What's up,
a
Cody?
mushy guy over there.
I love it. That makes it all worthwhile. All those days I never slow down.
And Alex, you're absolutely right. I think one thing about the Floating Night Live is if there's any apprehension or you know anybody who's like, I don't think I'm ever going to do that floating thing, just have them meet us right here on the Floating Night Live. This is your team. The four of us, technically. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. This is
Oh,
us.
wow.
Yeah.
We don't often have all four of us in the same building at the same time at Float Light.
No, it's very rare. Come fall, that'll change.
Yep.
It is so true.
Mhm.
It is so true.
Aw.
Yes, Jackie.
Thank you, Jackie.
Hope you're doing well.
Yes, we do. Wish you the best. I gotta, just so that everybody can come. Josh, you should, on this scene, go to couch cam and just hit the I button for that. Just the couch cam. And then just
We are blessed to have the team that we do. These guys are incredible. I feel super blessed to get to work alongside my husband every day. Sometimes that is interesting, but most times it's, you couldn't ask for better. Megan was such a blessing when she came on, and same with Dan. The way our team formed was just incredible.
Okay.
You're totally interrupting.
No, we're gonna actually do.
I know, but like you could have done that in a smooth.
So we're gonna do
Type
what
way.
we're gonna do earlier. Right now.
Oh, are you serious? But we haven't even hit it. This is what I'm talking about. You always push things before it happens.
You gotta pull off your lab,
The what?
and then just so that we can be more of a omnidirectional. Okay. Are you guys ready? We've done rehearsals.
Ugh. It's rough.
It's never gonna. Yes, Cody, I got a new haircut. You gotta really come check it out. It's like really short. I cut off like.
Let's sit in the middle.
No, it's good.
No, we're good. We're good.
So we're gonna do what we were rehearsing earlier because it's important to us. And I know we're not at 8,000 yet, but this is just something we did, and we did it for Megan. So anybody out there that remembered, totally give us a shout out. Let us know you remember this. But anyway, this is what we do. Hello, Float family and friends. We just wanted to say thank you
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for 8,000 likes on Facebook.
We're this close.
This close. It's a premature thing, but that's okay. But we also wanted to.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Hey!
You're famous now. You're famous.
Look at this! Live Inception!
It's my parents.
Yeah, it's Daniel's parents through the windows at Float Light.
Who are amazing as well, making sure that Dan gets here from Oshkosh,
Yeah.
which is incredible. Like these guys are, they are so in it. It's not just, it's not just the four of us, but it's also their families as well. Like, you know, Sandy and Scott Hietpas and, you know, Dan's parents, like all of them are just so supportive and help out whenever they can. So many events, you know, your parents have helped out on. It's just so amazing to be surrounded
good folks.
in so much love. God.
All right, let's do it one more time.
That was practice.
Hello, Float family and friends. Hello, Float family and friends. Hello, Float family and friends. We just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For 8,000 likes on Facebook. No? Is it too much?
No, that was perfect. I was waiting for more. I was waiting for more.
All right, one more time.
I was gonna say my name is Daniel.
Yo, that's what I was like.
Wait.
We're gonna introduce Dan. Here we
I'm
go.
gonna say hello, Float family and friends, and you're gonna say we just wanted to say thank you.
For 8,000.
Why are we?
From Facebook.
Why are we doing this live?
Why are we?
Okay.
Exactly. Why
Why are we
is this
doing
live?
this
Hello.
They love the process.
Hello,
The
Float
process.
family and friends. We just wanted to say thank you.
For 8,000 likes on Facebook.
That's right. And also, we wanted to welcome the newest member of the team.
Officially, Dan the Man.
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure serving you all. Or guiding you all, sorry. It's a pleasure.
And Josh is crying.
This is the second time he's had to go through this with us.
Oh, no.
He's actually tearing up because he's like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe it.
Y'all just wait till the video drops.
You know why I wanted to go through this? Because I want them to see like who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We are like a family. I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. I really mean that.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. I love you.
John's getting teary. I love you too. That's a rarity.
Well, I'm serious. I know this this was a passion of mine. It was so much work. But like the fact that there are people here that you guys join this, like, and I mean for me it's sometimes hard because we're a business and businesses struggle, but like you're still here, and I thank you for that.
You guys are all still here. Thank you. Because this has been quite a journey that John and I started many, many years ago. And it's been a really long process to get to where we are now. And it's a constant battle and balance that John and I try to maintain, taking care of Floatlight and all of you wonderful people and your journeys, but also Megan and Dan, and making sure that they're solid, and our kids, and it can be overwhelming at times, but every time we come in and we have that interaction with one of you guys, it makes everything that we do and everything that we sacrifice to make Floatlight what it is worthwhile, and we're so incredibly blessed to be here.
And Cabrillo wants a rope.
Yeah, I know, bro. I got you for that wedding gift.
All right, friends. I think
We've come to an end.
we've come to an end of the.
Any final words, Dan?
Yeah, Dan, you gotta lead this. You gotta lead it out. You
I
gotta
love-
come from the heart.
I love you all. And I love you all, too.
Yeah, we love
Big huggies.
And thank you for all my friends that have showed up and showed support with Floatlight as well. And thank you to my family and all of my new family, the guests that come at Floatlight. Thank you all. And I just wanted to ask everyone to please keep my grandmother in your thoughts and prayers, and my family too. And te amo, Wita. I love you, Abuelita. And I love all of you too. Good night.
Good night, friends.
Good night.